What's up, gang? How you guys doing? It is Lieutenant Sal Blue, 28-year law enforcement veteran and the author of the top 25 mistakes en route to the good life, coming at you once again with my daily podcast. That's right, man. I got my daily podcast here. I'm coming at you guys and just showing you guys some of the things that people do when they end up not having a good life, when they're going down the path of the bad life, when they're making tons of mistakes. So each and every day I try to come at you guys. Sometimes I come with a question, and sometimes I just come with a statement and we just go from there. But today I have a question, and that question is going to drive our conversation for the day, and we'll see where it goes as far as the podcast is concerned. So my question for today is, why are you having trouble at managing your life, right? Now, this is something that I always ask people. Like if I'm coaching somebody or counseling somebody, trying to walk somebody through some type of crisis that they're dealing with, because that seems like almost every day in a lot of people's lives, especially since the pandemic, right? When I ask people this question, what I'm trying to get out of them is if they even know what's going on in their lives, right? A lot of times people are all over the place. So it takes a question sometime to bring people into focus, okay, so that they can start thinking of what it is that they're doing and what it is that they have done that has caused the current crisis that's going on in their life. So I asked them this question, and I'm asking you this question, guys. Even if you think you got it all together, man, I know it sounds good. You don't have to tell me that you don't have it all together. Nobody has it all together. It is always a part in somebody's life where things aren't just going just perfect. So just think about that for a minute before you jump out there and say, hey, I got this. I got it all going on. So the question of the day, once again, is why are you having trouble at managing your life? And we're going to get to the bottom of this before this podcast is over. And I'm going to give you some helpful hints to help you to move forward to have a better life. So when I think about this question, it reminds me of how my mother would yell at me all the time when I was younger, telling me that don't be so scatterbrained, right? She would just get so frustrated of me being scatterbrained because my thoughts were all over the place, right? And it was so true. I was all over the place. Just imagine a cat chasing the lights from a disco ball on the wall, right? All over the place. That was me, man. I was a cat scrambling for lights on the wall from a disco ball. And so, and thinking about that now, I can only laugh about it like later on in my life. But then, man, I was everywhere. I was all over the place. So when I think back to those times, right, I was full of energy, right, and ambition. They were my friend, energy and ambition, because when you're younger, you have tons of energy and ambition. That's just what you have, right? But because they were my friend, what they caused me to do was they caused me to push off all my goals to like future. Like I wanted to get things done, and I had goals of things that I wanted to do, but I had a list of 5-year goals. I had a list of even more, 10-year goals. I had a list of 20-year goals. And so, being the fact that I believed that I could do so much and still achieve all of those goals were far in the past, it led me to like just a false belief of what life was about. And so there I am, hustling and burning the candle on both ends, as I talked about in yesterday's podcast, and I was not getting too many things done, right? Now, during that time in my life, I had the skills that I had to achieve my goals. By the time I developed them, right, my 5-year goal, my 10-year goal, my 20-year goal, by the time I developed the skills that were needed to achieve those particular goals, because I was all over the place, the goals were obsolete or my skills were obsolete, right? Because time changes. In the past 20 years, times have changed so rapidly, right? With information and technology and medicine and everything else. Time have changed so fast that you can't be having a 5-year goal and think that that goal is significant 5 years from now, because you don't know how life is going to change, right? You have to constantly be on top of your skills. You have to constantly be developing your skills, but not only do you have to constantly be developing your skills, you have to make sure that your skills mean something in today's times, right? In today's times, there's no need for you to be a master horse and buggy rider, right? There's no need for you to be great at scouring for gold, right? And so a lot of those things, man, you don't need those skills anymore. They're skills of the past, man. You have to continually upgrade your life, upgrade your skills, and get better, right? And so with this happening to me, man, this caused me so much confusion, because I felt like I was doing the right things, but my life was still not working out the way I planned, right? My life was just not working out the way I planned. And so I had to do a lot of introspective, right? Internal exploring and thinking about what I needed to do with my life and what direction my life needed to go in. And that all changed when I came across my mentor, a couple of years into my law enforcement career. And he told me that I needed to focus on the next step, right? And we talked about this in other podcasts about pushing down that one domino. But he told me, he said, I needed to concentrate on my next step. He said, what's my next move? Was one of his famous things he would always say. What's your next move? What is your next move? He would always say that to me. And with that in mind, I realized that I needed to work on, I needed to work with that in my mind, right? And I needed to work on the next 24 hours. And I know that for a lot of people, they kind of just let this go a little bit. They kind of just let the day get away with them. Have you ever heard that saying when people go, oh man, today just got away from me? Well, if you want to have an extraordinary life, that can never, ever happen to you. You can't just let the day get away from you, right? You have to have a plan for the day. You have to have a plan for the next 24 hours, right? So here's my philosophy, guys, on this next 24 hours, right? If I can manage my life, right, and this is my line of thinking, right? If I can manage my life for the next 24 hours, right, just one day, then I can manage my lifetime. Or in other words, right, if you can't manage your life for the next 24 hours, right, if you're the type of person that every time you turn around you say the day has gotten away from you, right, so that means you can't manage 24 hours because you're letting it get away from you. So if you can't manage the next 24 hours or one day, then think of how difficult it's going to be to manage your life, right? So if you can't manage 24 hours, right, then how can you master 1 week, right? How can you master 1 week? If you can't master the week, right, then how can you have control over your month, right? How your month turns out, guys. And if you can't manage the months, then guess what, man? If you can't manage the months, then you are going to have a problem with the rest of your life, man. Because there is no way you can manage your life without managing the months. See, every little thing matters when it comes to your life. Every little thing matters, and you just can't allow 24 hours to escape you and be okay with it, right? And I tell people this, and they worry about the past, right? They let the 24 hours get away from them right now that they need to be dealing with, and they're worrying about things that happened yesterday. Yesterday is gone, man. You know? Or they'll figure, oh, I can do that tomorrow. Or as people around me say, I can do that mañana. Mañana. Right? They try to put things off to tomorrow. No, man. No. As the saying goes, guys, right? Yesterday is history and tomorrow is a mystery. That is why you need to make the most of today. That is why they call it the present. Right? That is why they call it the present, man. So think about this for a minute, right? Think about this for a minute. If you have no control over the past, right? Because it already happened, you can't go back. And you have no control over the future, right? Because it hasn't happened yet. Then your life, in a full synopsis, your life is today, right? Today is the only day that matters. Your life is today. So you could have had the worst day ever yesterday, right? But understand, you can still tell someone your life is incredible because all you have is today, right? You can't think of, you could have had the tragedy of all tragedies yesterday. But today, your life is incredible. It's a brand new day, brand new clock, 24 hours, guys. And you have to start thinking that way, right? And it is you and only you who decides, right, how your life is, right? If you decide that your life is incredible, then guess what? Nobody can tell you different. But on the same token, guys, if you decide that your life is horrible, because yesterday was horrible, because last year was horrible, right? Because you have no idea what you're going to do tomorrow. If you decide that, then guess what? Nobody can tell you different. Do you understand? You have total complete control of how your life turns out, right? It is you and only you, right? And the reason why I say this is your life is made up of your decisions, what you choose and how you choose it. And those decisions will determine how your life turns out. If you're constantly prophesizing that you have a horrible life, then you're probably going to have a horrible life, guys. There's no keeping it away from you, right? And I tell people all the time, man, don't start prophesizing something to that nature, because hard times, they don't have a problem finding you. It is easy for hard times to find a person, right? It is the good times that we have to work at, right? You don't have to work at hard times. They come automatically. They find you in the best of moods, okay, doing the greatest of things. Hard times will hit you right where you feel it the most, man. So understand that when it comes to talking about how your life is. Now, I'm going to tell you, there are some proven steps you can take to assure that you have the best 24 hours possible, right? Because I don't want to sit there and tell you to have the best life possible. I want you to narrow your focus. I want you to narrow your focus. This is what we're talking about here. As I sip a little bit of coffee, guys. Right? I want you to narrow your focus down to the point of the next 24 hours. The next 24 hours is your entire life, right? Now, once again, the reason why I talk about 24 hours is because today is the seed for tomorrow. Right? So when I think about that, when I use it in terms of seed, right? When you plant a seed, right? You don't come back in 5 minutes and think that that seed is going to grow a tree. No, it's the seed that you plant, right? And now once you plant the seed, what do you need to do with that seed, right? You need to maintain it. You need to water the grass. You need to make sure the soil is okay, right? It needs to get plenty of sunlight. Really, really taken care of, right? That is how you take care of the seed that you planted today, right? So the seed that you planted for today is for your tomorrow. So, and it doesn't matter how hard you had, how hard of a life you had, right? You can change your entire life in an instant. You can change your entire life in an instant. That is how powerful, okay, making a decision is. You can immediately pivot, right? You could have been going down the wrong direction, doing all the wrong things in your life, man. Your life could have been a total train wreck yesterday. But today is the day you turned it all around, right? In an instant. The moment you made that decision, you can change your life, right? So my question to you is this, once again. So how can you improve your life in the next 24 hours? That is where our focus needs to be now, right? Because before we started off with managing your life, right? And now I narrowed it down to managing your life in the next 24 hours, one day, because that's all that matters is this one day. So the first thing you need to get together when you're talking about managing your next 24 hours is your philosophy, right? What is your philosophy on life, right? And so when I say what is your philosophy on life, what is your philosophy in the next 24 hours? You could have had a bad philosophy up until today, but now today that philosophy needs to change, right? So you have to treat your life, right? You have to treat your life like a business. As I tell people, you have to treat your life like a business because your life is your business. And all businesses need time invested into them to grow and prosper, guys. You need time invested in yourself to grow and prosper. That means you have to educate yourself. That means you have to learn. That means you have to read. That means you have to gain knowledge, right? And gaining knowledge, right, is only part of the equation because now that knowledge that you gain, you have to use it. You have to implement it in your next 24 hours, guys. So you gain some knowledge and you implement it. And you build on that each and every day. That is how you end up having an extraordinary life, right? You're constantly building on knowledge and implementing it in your life. Building on knowledge and implementing it in your life. So the first thing is your philosophy of how you live your life needs to be spot on. Treat your life like a business. Invest plenty of time into it so that you can grow and prosper. Now, understand this. Life has three basic pleasures, right? Three basic pleasures. And those pleasures, if you guys don't know the three basic pleasures, there are creativity, right? Progress, right? And completion, right? Creativity is obviously the beginning stages of things, right? We love creating. We love the idea phase. It's a super powerful and it helps us to feel alive, right? We love creating. We love beginnings. Beginnings are incredible, guys. Beginnings are incredible, right? And once we begin, right, we love coming back and seeing the progress, the fruits of our labors as we're working through whatever process we're working through. And then at the end, guys, we love the completed project. We love to have completed projects and look back at something and go, man, this is fantastic. I love the way I did this. This is wonderful work. And it makes us feel good. So those are our three pleasures, man. Those are our three pleasures in life, right? Now, what you have to do, right, and this is so we can narrow down how we can improve our next 24 hours, you have to identify what excites you. What makes you feel good? What makes you feel incredible? What brings you pleasure, right? And you remember, I say it all over again, we're constantly moving toward pleasure and away from pain. So you need to identify what excites you, what brings you pleasure, right? And once you do that, okay, I want you to know that it is important because the most important person in your life, right, is you. That's right. You are the most important person in your life. So you really, really have to narrow down what brings you pleasure because you want to take care of that most important person in your life, right? You need to take care of yourself first, right? So that you can take care of others. And trust me, all right? And trust me, right? There is no one on the planet, not even your mama, who thinks about you more than you. Okay? You're the most important person. And whoever you are, right? You may have children, you may have a husband, you may have a wife, right? But at the end of the day, the most important person in your world is you. Okay? Do not over-invest in other people. That is just one of the things that I tell people do not do. Take care of yourself first. Okay? And always invest more time in yourself, okay, than you do in others. Because one of the most important things that you can give someone that you love and care for is a happy you, right? A happy you is the greatest gift in the world that you can give somebody that you love and care for. You got to work on a happy you, guys. Now, our life is an accumulation of goals, right? Accumulation of goals. And we all talked about goals and having goals written down. And our success in life, right, is based on the completion of these goals. So if our life is accumulation of goals and we complete those goals, the more goals we complete, the things that we want, right, the greater the success is in our life, the completion of goals, right? So the first thing you have to do, guys, the first thing you have to do, and these are like action steps that I want you guys to take to dominate the next 24 hours. The first thing that you need to do is you need to identify your dominant goal for the day. What goal are you going to do today, right? Every day I start off my day, I start off with a journal, and I journal what was on my mind and what I'm thinking about to clear my head and get all of that garbage out of my head that I was thinking about and milling around there, right? Once I do that, right, I identify what my goal is for the day. What do I need to do today for my day to be successful, right? Remember, completion of goals means success. So what do I need to do today so that my day is successful? Now, it is what you believe you can achieve, okay? And when you achieve it, right, your day will be a success. So write it down, okay? Put it on paper, put it in front of you, and look at it all day. Because this is something that you need to do today, and you cannot put off tomorrow because tomorrow doesn't exist in your world. It is only a 24 hours, right? So second thing that you need to do, this is some action steps for you guys, right? You need to view today as an investment for tomorrow. So just like a farmer, right? You plant that seed, and today is the day that you plant the seed, right? And today is not the harvest. The harvest isn't today, right? Today is only the seed. So you're viewing today as the day that you plant the seed for the harvest in the future. You walk into the harvest in the future. You're not having a harvest today. So it's a little bit of delayed gratification, but you know that the work that you put in today will mean something tomorrow. So view today as your investment. The third thing that you guys need to do is you need to name, and I learned this, the theme of the day, right? So that you are focused on one thing, right? What is your theme for today, right? I have themes for each day. Today is going to be a day of growth, right? Today is going to be a day of reading. Today is going to be a day of podcast. Today is going to be a day of fitness. And whatever that theme is, that is my focus. I narrow my gaze, okay, to a pinpoint edge and totally, completely focus on what I need to do today, right? Today. And so when you narrow your gaze and you give the day a theme, it helps you all around to clear all of the fog that is in your way so that you can begin to move toward having a better life, right? The next thing, guys, and this is probably one of the most powerful things I've learned out of all the other things and steps to make my day better. Speak your day into existence. Speak into existence your day, how your day is going to turn out, right? And this is what is going to happen today. And that's how I start off my day, right? After I do my journaling, I write down everything that I need to do. I speak into existence, right, what my day is going to be. And understand this, guys. Understand this. If you can do this, right, these 4 steps, if you can do these 4 steps for 30 days, right, every day speaking your day into existence, every day having a theme, every day focusing on what your day needs to be and putting in the work, guess what you just did? You just created for yourself an extraordinary life. That's right. Most people aren't willing to put in this type of work, right? Most people are lazy and they're laid back, and this is not something that they're willing to do, guys. But if you want to have an extraordinary life, these are the steps that you need to take, man. You need to focus, okay, on the next 24 hours. And when you do that, your life is going to turn out phenomenal. So that's it. I'm wrapping this message up for today. I want you guys to make sure you hop on over to lieutenantsalblue.com. Pick up your copy of my book, right? Top 25 Mistakes en Route to the Good Life, 2nd edition. Okay, that's me on the back here. It's my little biography talking about me and my family. And tons of goodness in here, man. Tons of goodness in this book for you guys to grow, learn, and prosper and have the best life possible. So check me out. There's tons of extra specials on there when you buy the book on my website as opposed to Amazon. I'm giving away 10,000 free copies of my book, autographed copies, so you guys pay the shipping. And I'll get them out to you immediately as you place your orders. Hopefully you guys are placing some of your orders today. Hopefully the 10,000 copies goes extremely fast. And also, guys, if you want me to talk about a certain topic, okay, shoot me a DM right here at YouTube or at any of the social media platforms at Lieutenant Sal Blue, and I will gladly do some homework and research the topic and talk about it. And hopefully it's something that will help you to have a better life, something that helps your life move forward. So this is Sal Blue. I am wrapping it up for today. You guys have a fantastic evening, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Lieutenant Sal Blue signing off, and that will be a deuces, and a deuces. Later, as I look for my remote control. Here we go. All right, guys. Have a good night.